Hello and welcome to this FPL Gameweek 3 preview with the help of Fantasy Football Hub's AI. In this video, I'll be looking at the top predicted players in each position ahead of Gameweek 3, as well as looking at your top dilemmas with the answers from our AI before checking in with the AI team, its recommended transfers and team selection for Gameweek 3. Help me get this one to 500 likes, let's get into it. Starting off with goalkeepers then, and we are starting to see a little bit of movement in the market, particularly Pickford and Onana owners are starting to look elsewhere now, and there's some interesting names in this top 10. Obviously, Manchester City, 2 clean sheets to start the season with, and excellent upcoming fixtures as well. In a season where cash isn't an issue, perhaps spending on Ederson could be the way to go. 23.2 predicted points over the next 5 game weeks. If you're looking for someone a little cheaper, it's Chelsea's Robert Sanchez in 3rd place on 20.1 predicted points. He's still 4.5 million, but I'm not wholly convinced that the Blues won't sign another goalkeeper in the window. The alternative is Flecken in 7th place on 19.4 predicted points. Brentford defence has looked really solidly, interestingly. They've only conceded 1 big chance on their goal in the opening 2 game weeks. Only Man City can better that tally. Moving on to defenders then, and we've had a torrid time starting the season with injuries. AI is still backing Trent Alexander-Arnold to be the top performing defender over the next 5 game weeks, 22.8 predicted points, despite that knock potentially leaving him out of the Newcastle game. We're still waiting for more information on that one. In terms of the other contenders to consider, Manchester City's Gvardiol is in 2nd place on 22.6 predicted points. At 5 million, he could be a really helpful route into that City defence with those great upcoming fixtures, and you are going to save 0.5 million on the likes of Ederson. Interestingly as well, 3 Newcastle defenders are slowly making it into the top 10. We've got Trippier in 3rd place, 22.3 predicted points, and Schär and Botman are making up the top 10. Now, we have to remember, even though Newcastle have had a tricky start to the season, their fixtures are beginning to turn. Liverpool at home up next. I wouldn't bet against them in that fixture given their current form, followed by Brighton away, Brentford at home and Sheffield United away. So something to keep an eye on. We're maybe not ready to move on to Newcastle defenders just yet, but in a few weeks it could certainly come to the fore. Moving on to midfielders then, and many are wondering whether Mo Salah is worth his price tag right now, but AI is still backing Salah to deliver, and the goal and an assist in the opening run of fixtures is not a bad start for the Egyptian. 31.5 predicted points over the next 5 game weeks. In a season where there's so many budget options, we can afford to have Haaland and Salah in our team. So perhaps if you are a Salah owner, you need to think about keeping him. Now, I just want to note as well, Manchester United midfielders Fernandes and Rashford are in 2nd and 3rd place. AI still predicts them to do well. Nottingham Forest at home up next. I urge you, the AI urges you, give them one more game week. If you've got both and you're probably feeling a little bit overexposed, maybe Rashford is the one to prioritise selling. Keep Fernandes. He looks to be the one that can continue to deliver over the long term. Now, Phil Foden has seen plenty of transfers in for game week 3. That's entirely justified according to AI. He's predicted to score 38.3 points over the next 5 game weeks according to AI, and he's looking like a very exciting prospect with Man City having some very, very good fixtures. Now, there are managers wondering, do you spend the extra on Foden? Do you go down to the 6.5 options, or those that started the season at 6.5? And if you do, who's the best pick? Well, according to AI, it's Mbomo. He sits 7th in this list on 26.1 predicted points. So if you're looking towards him or the Brighton midfielders, and Mbomo looks to be the one to go with. We also need to remember that Brighton have upcoming European fixtures after game week 5, which could have an impact on their progress. And if you deciding between the Brighton midfielders, it's Matoma that makes the top 10 ahead of March. So that's something else to keep an eye on. And also James Maddison is 9th in the list on 24.8 predicted points. He picked up a little bit of a knock in game week 2. We're waiting for more news on that one, but should he be fit, he'll be automatically plumped up this list. Moving on to forwards then, obviously Haaland tops the list, a ridiculous 43.6 points over the next 5 game weeks. City certainly enjoying some really nice fixtures in this period. But the big question is Watkins owners are wondering, do we stay firm with Watkins? Do we move to Jackson now that Watkins is off pens? Is he justifying his price tag? AI has put Jackson in second place on 26.1 points, ahead of Watkins on 24 points. Interestingly, Watkins is still in third though, and he's still winning the race over the cheaper options, with Wissa moving up that list, having done very well in the opening couple of game weeks. Jackson's still waiting for his first goal for Chelsea, but the underlying numbers are very promising. The fixtures are excellent. AI thinks it's worth a gamble. The AI team then is on a green arrow. Estepinian and Matoma delivering the big points, but it was a blank for Captain Haaland, the first captaincy blank of the season. Still a few issues to deal with in the squad. We're looking at Stones, who's out injured for a number of weeks. Gabriel, also a rotation risk. 2 free transfers though. I've used the AI recommended transfers on Fantasy Football Hub. You can do this with your own team as well. You need to be a pro member, but you can get 50% off right now using the link in the description to this video and win your mini league or your money back. Now, the recommended transfers with the 2 free transfers are to transfer Stones out for Chilwell and Watkins out for Jackson, with the alternative transfer to just move Stones to Colwill. Now, you can see here that the patience in game week 1 with rolling the transfer paid off, because couldn't do Stones to Chilwell directly last week because of price changes. They're the moves for this week. Now, the actual AI team makes its transfers on a Friday around 4 o'clock once all the information is in from the press conferences closer to the deadline. So the final AI team reveal will only be available for members on Fantasy Football Hub. But if we make these recommended transfers, this is how we'll be lining up for game week 3. Flecken is back in between the sticks after benching his 6-pointer in game week 2 in favour of Turner, who didn't manage a clean sheet. In defence, Chilwell comes straight in alongside Estupinan and Pinnock, with Gabriel dropping to the bench alongside Baldock. Certainly fixtures and rotation are the 2 factors there. In midfield, we once again have double United and double Arsenal attack alongside Matoma. Jackson comes into the front line now alongside Haaland. Luton at home looks like a fixture to target after they conceded 4 goals to Brighton in game week 1 and then missed game week 2 through postponement. When it comes to captaincy, there is only one man, Erling Haaland, on a massive 8.3 predicted points away at Sheffield United. He has been absolutely clinical against promoted sides in the Premier League so far. Expect that to continue, with Sheffield United struggling still in terms of their squad depth, with some big injuries still to contend with. The big points prediction for Haaland makes this team onto 69.5 predicted points for game week 3 as things stand, with a team rating of 98% and a game week rating of 98% as well. So it'd be interesting to see how high it can get. Remember, all the predicted points in this video are available to Fantasy Football Hub members with 50% off right now by hitting the link in the description to this video. You'll also be able to get the AI recommended transfers for your team if you're a Fantasy Football Hub member. Let's get this video to 500 likes. I'll be back tomorrow with the experts team, so have a look in the community section for the latest questions on that one. Thanks for watching.